Tia, Kia, Kora, Ratama, Sia, Tia, Rata, Rata,
Now this is podcasting.
So here we are again. We're here for episode 3. So episode 3 came out. Episode 3 came out in 2005, and it's almost, I think, a couple days away from its 17th anniversary or something like that.
Yeah.
So before we get into how much we liked it, hated it, didn't care about it, enjoyed every minute of it, here is the summary of episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So it's set 3 years after the onset of the Clone Wars, which is established in the previous movie, Attack of the Clones, at the very end. The Jedi are spread across the galaxy, leading a large-scale war against the Separatists. Following the death of the Separatist leader, Count Dooku, which happens in the beginning of this film, the Jedi Council dispatches Obi-Wan Kenobi on a mission to eliminate General Grievous, who we are introduced to in this film.
For the first time.
For the first time. The head of the Separatist army. So he puts an end to put an end to the war. Meanwhile, after having visions of his wife, Padme Amidala, dying in childbirth, which they were secretly married at the end of last movie,
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker is tasked by the Council to spy on Palpatine, the Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Republic, and secretly a Sith Lord.
No.
Which we as the audience have known the whole time.
Right.
Palpatine manipulates Anakin into turning to the dark side of the Force and becoming his apprentice.
Which we knew the whole time.
Exactly. With wide-ranging consequences for the galaxy. So we've known that since 1977.
That's true.
That Palpatine and Lord Vader were good buddies.
Technically, I've only known that since 1999, 2000 era when I was 10.
True, yeah. Well, you probably watched the originals when they first came out.
Yeah, probably.
Not when they first came out, like when you were a kid, you probably were watching them.
Yeah. I don't remember the first time I ever watched Star Wars.
I mean, either. Beep, boop, bop, boop. Okay, so the next bit of information is how did George Lucas introduce us to this wonderful film? Here is the scroll. War! The Republic is crumbling under attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord Count Dooku. Dies. Mm-hmm. There are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. In a stunning move, the fiendish droid leader, General Grievous, who we don't know, has swept into the Republic capital and kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine, shocking leader of the Galactic Senate. As the Separatist droid army attempts to flee the besieged capital with their valuable hostage, 2 Jedi Knights lead a desperate mission to rescue the captive Chancellor. That should make it beautiful.
Beautiful.
I never have to do that again.
Good.
Unless there'll be a scroll and it'll be every episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope everyone starts with, whoa. I feel like every episode of Clone Wars starts with that.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. So what do you, this was kind of funny for the audience. Is your scale of terrible bigger or your scale of good bigger? Like, did you enjoy more of it or did you hate more of it?
From Attack on the Clones?
And just, yeah, in general, but also Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
So rewatching it now, I'd say it fits in right where it's always kind of fit in for me. Okay. It's always been better than Attack on the Clones.
Yep.
It's not better than Phantom.
No.
But it's not better or worse rewatching it later now. No. It is what it is.
Yeah, it kind of just sits. Yeah, it just kind of sits where it is.
It is a that was weird, sorry. It is a
okay.
It's a rushed story crammed into a 2-hour movie
Yeah.
that feels long but yet short.
So I feel like the way that George Lucas does things, he just throws you into it, right? I mean, his movie, instead of doing episode 1, right, like every normal storyteller, he started with his 4th story. And he just started, I mean, the movie opens with the Galactic Empire like attacking the like perceived Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
And then it just starts, and it's like next thing you know, they're on the desert planet, and it's just propelling this movie. And it's kind of like, if you don't know what it's a movie where we all understand what lightsabers and the Force and who Darth Vader is and all this stuff, but people going for the first time were like, what is any of this? And you're learning as you're watching, which is not how movies are made nowadays. They are not made like that. And so to me, I just feel like the second movie should have been like like the end of the Clone Wars. So you have the reference of Clone Wars for A New Hope. Have it be like this movie where it's like maybe the last battle of the Clone Wars, and then it leads to Palpatine like twisting and turning Anakin and little things here and there. And then this third movie is literally just, it has nothing to do with trying to get rid of the Separatists and end the Clone War. It's just Anakin going deeper and darker into the dark side, and not have all this other like they're losing the Senate. It's like, what's happening? And oh, look, the emperors or the chancellors like taking things over. I think that's stuff they should have done in 2. Because honestly, when you look back at 2, the fake love story is so useless that they should have filled it with actual like progressive story things rather than a fake.
And also, like, I like Phantom. But I think Phantom is this one story. It's this,
Oh, true.
And it's a whole movie about this. It's the barricade for Naboo. Just the whole movie.
Yeah.
One tiny little minute aspect of the entire conference.
True. It's really just an introductory to Anakin and Obi-Wan, really, right? And Padme.
So if that movie was rushed through a little bit faster.
Okay, yeah.
Like the middle of it, Qui-Gon dies in the middle of it.
Okay.
And then it just cuts, and it's just like, whatever, 10 years later.
Yeah, kind of like Obi-Wan dies in A New Hope, right? Just kind of, he's gone.
10 years later, Obi-Wan now is with Anakin, and Anakin's older and they're training. And then
at the end of that movie, they say the Clone Wars have kind of began, right?
Second movie, you see the clones come in, you see parts of the war, you see how Palpatine is fighting this way while also leaning this way to get things lined up his way.
Right.
He becomes close to Anakin. All this stuff happens. Third movie is just like all these reasons that Anakin has seen how bad the Jedi are, why he wants to protect his wife, and then his fade into the, like, the middle of the movie, his fade into Vader.
Into Vader, right. Yeah, you're
because George Lucas has all this. He's like Tolkien, right? He's got all this backstory on these
everything,
and it's like you don't need it. Like General Grievous comes into this movie and he's like, oh yeah, he's been in control of the robot army the whole time. Like, okay,
yeah, right.
Like this big bad guy. If we get General Grievous, the war is over. Why? You haven't told me why.
Right.
Obi-Wan gets there and he like kills Grievous. Like that.
Right. And it's not really super satisfying because it's like, okay, this character's dead.
You meet this amazing character for the first time in the Star Wars movie where he collects Jedi lightsabers that he has like killed in battle.
Yeah, he's actually like a really unique character, right? Yeah.
He's a non-force wielding lightsaber dueling robot cyborg.
Yeah.
And he's a really cool character, and he does like this big grand thing, and then he gets killed. Obi-Wan shoots him.
Of all things, right? He blasters him. Right?
It's the classic Indiana Jones where the guy's doing all the stuff and he just goes
blam.
The guy he was fighting shot first though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. We don't want you to think that Indiana is a bad guy.
Oh,
right?
No. No, he's a teacher. Pretty crazy. No, but so it feels so. This movie just feels so rushed. There's like Dooku dies, Grievous dies,
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, Anakin, we want you to spy on the Chancellor because you have his ear. You're his good friend. Like, when did that happen?
Right.
Why is that? Why do you not?
Yeah.
The Jedi not see that like they're worried about Anakin. They think he's the chosen one. They're worried about him turning to the dark side. And the Chancellor's like, oh, you should be my buddy. You should be my friend. They never once thought like, hey, that's weird. This politician guy is really interested in this guy that we're worried about.
Right.
Never, not once did they ever.
Where are all these inside, like they're all these like the Sith and the dark side is really like manipulating things, and it's like can't be from within the Senate where they have power. Why would it ever have be there?
It's only like halfway through this movie where they are like, I think it could be coming from inside the house.
What?
And then when Anakin discovers that Duke Palpatine is Palpatine, he tells Mace Windu. Mace Windu's like, okay, whatever, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And they go arrest him.
I know that scene is so rough. I don't understand that at all. But yeah.
Well, just the time frame is off too, because they're like, okay, we're gonna go arrest him. You stay here in the Jedi Council till we return. And he's sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and Padme is sitting at her house and she's worried. And next thing you know, like they go in to arrest the Chancellor, and then Anakin shows up like like right when they're starting to get like, how did you not? What were you doing?
Like, what were you doing? He had to wait for all those other guys to show up.
They've been trying to end this war for 30 years. They finally figure out the Sith mastermind, and they're like, we'll get to it when we get to it. Okay.
Don't rush me.
We got other stuff.
I was gonna say that's a merch shirt right there. It's coming from inside the house. That's like right there. That's a pretty.
I thought I was gonna say the Jedi Council. We'll get to it when we get to
it. Yeah, it's just so funny to me, and I get it. Like you're supposed to show how amazing and awesome Palpatine is. I get it. He's scary, and obviously he's not gonna die, right? He's not gonna get arrested. He's not gonna die. We already know what's gonna happen. But it was just so funny. He brings 4 of them in, 4. And immediately 2 die immediately. And it was just like stab. And they were like, what? He's stabbing him. And it was just like stab. And he was like, oh, I'm stabbed. And I was just like, it wasn't like he moved really fast. He went like buzz, jump. Yeah. And then they were like, I've never seen anyone ever do that before.
Oh my God, he's using the Force.
Right.
It's like,
yeah. It was like, what's your training been doing? What have you been doing this whole time?
I get that the Jedi haven't seen a Sith fight in like 100 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, the Jedi in these last 2 movies, like even when they're dying from the droids in the second,
I know.
It's like, what are they? Do they train? Do they have the Force? Are they awful? Like, I don't understand. Like,
yeah, what's his name is the worst out of all of them is it Kai Mundi, the guy with the big head?
Oh yeah,
he like literally turns around and then he's just like, oh, I can't. I was just like, so why are you leading them into things if you can't stop like 4 or 5, 6, 7 guys from shooting at you? Like, why are you in the front of these guys?
It's just one of those things where it's like I can picture all that stuff happening in my head so much better from knowing the future of like, this is where it goes. I can picture it. I can picture it better. When I see it, it makes no sense. It's rushed through and it's so weak. You have like million Jedi Knights and they're like, oh, a bolt. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. It's like none of them use any other thing.
No, right.
Nobody uses force push. Nobody jumps. Nobody uses the Force in any other way than to do this. In all these movies, these 3 movies can be summed up to this.
And then only Obi-Wan and Anakin can use the Force.
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So only Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Yoda can use the Force.
The Yoda fight scene with Dooku is, or with not he fought Dooku in the other one, but
Yeah, Palpatine.
in this. When Yoda walks into that room and Palpatine's got the two,
Yeah,
Yoda just goes and throws him against the wall. You're like, oh, this is gonna be bad.
yeah, but it's funny. He holds up to him just fine. The only thing I thought was weird is like the lightning thing, right? Because remember Palpatine shoots him and he's just like, and this time when the Palpatine shoots him, he's like, oh god.
Yeah, he can hold it. Yeah. What I don't get is like, so Yoda goes to fight him because he says Obi-Wan won't be able to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Because Obi-Wan has gotten his butt kicked by Dooku every single time they fought, and he's right.
Sure.
So Yoda's like, no, I'm the only one that can do it.
Yeah, you can.
I'm the only one that can do it. And then he gets, he falls off the chair and he falls all the way to the thing, and then he escapes, and he's like, I failed. I must go into hiding. What? Just keep trying to fight him.
Right. Let's go back.
He was like, well, I tried. You know what I always
wanted? Like, why didn't you just go back?
I always wanted to live on the swamps.
And I get it, and it's nice, and they do a nice payoff with it, even though we know what's going to happen. Is I like that he says, "Don't make me go and fight Anakin because I'm not going to kill him."
Oh yeah,
and he ends up not killing him. Right, that was like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
you like that?
You almost wonder like what would have actually have happened if you had flipped it. Like, would Yoda have killed Anakin? And maybe Palpatine kills Obi-Wan, but now it's like Palpatine doesn't have a mighty turned Jedi to like rule the galaxy. I think
the outcome of that battle is Palpatine would be looking for a new apprentice.
Right, exactly. And then Yoda would just go to the Palpatine and just be like, "This isn't happening, buddy."
Yeah.
It's a real that the whole like you said, once he says like I must go into exile and all this stuff, all of that feels like, oh god, it's like waking up the morning of and realizing you have a test, right?
It's George Lucas writing, and he's like, okay, and then he's like, oh wait a minute, how is Yoda gonna get to the swamp? Okay, I must leave and go to the swamp. Right. And then he's writing the story, and then he's like, oh crap, I can't do that because this happens. And then he's like, scratch that, bring that down here, put him over here. And it just feels like he forgot the plot. It feels like he lost the plot. He doesn't know his own characters.
No.
And then he has to like fix things. And then he's like, oh yeah, Padme's fine. And he's like, oh wait, no, Padme's not fine. Because then if Padme's alive, then why would the kids be split up? She dies. Her heart is broken. She dies. And Skywalker goes to live with the Skywalkers because Skywalker would never know that the Skywalkers are at the Skywalker range. Got it.
Don't call him Luke Lars. Call him Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. Make sure he goes by the Skywalker name.
Yeah. And then I really hope they address that in Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
Put the girl with the senator. I don't care.
We don't care about that.
I don't know what he's doing. He's whatever.
The only thing I don't know, did you notice it? This is the first time I've ever noticed it. I've seen this movie like 10 times. I didn't notice that the ship is the ship from the first movie. Senator Organa's ship is the one that's getting shot at the beginning of A New Hope. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The one that that shows C-3PO and R2-D2 getting and Vader boards it.
When the Vader boards, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. It's that ship. When he's picking up Yoda, he picks up Yoda and he picks up Obi-Wan and they talk and they do this thing and he's like flying and he lands. It's that ship.
So it's the same. Wow. It's the same ship from Rogue One then too at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's cool. That's a cool like direct tie-in. I actually like what's his name in this movie. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He was good in the other ones too, but I like him. Yeah.
William Organa.
Yeah, William Organa. Yeah. It just the end of the movie is just so painfully rushed. It's like why specifically make her die of a broken heart and not from just Anakin like choking her too much? You know what I mean?
He forgot he forgot that she dies until the end of the movie. Yeah, and it's like, and then it's like, well, yeah, exactly. Why didn't he just choke her too much? That's too dark. He just killed 40 children,
Children, right? I
slaughtered
know.
them like animals.
Like he's turning into
No.
Vader. He's not turning into a nice guy.
You can't choke a woman. This is Martin Lucas. Like, hey George, how do you want
This
him?
youngling not die from?
He's like, okay, George. Okay, we won't have him choke Padme. What do you want to do with these younglings? Just slaughter them. I don't care. Have them cut their heads off. I don't care.
Yeah. It's so, and that's the thing that makes it so much worse than that is what you were saying pre-recording was, oh, I just lost it.
Oh, it's how quickly.
Yes, how quickly he turns. Yes. How quickly he turns on a dime, where he's like, he actually like his interaction with Mace Windu, it actually makes sense, right?
It's
it makes
like
sense.
The most Jedi thing that he's done his whole career.
Right.
Mace Windu is like, I'm going to kill him because he's too dangerous to keep alive, knowing that would make Mace go down the dark side. And Anakin says he must serve the trial. That's the way. And then Mace Windu realizing that he's the Senate, he's the Chancellor, he's
everything.
He can just control it no matter how he wants. He can spin whatever he wants. He already he spins it as the Jedi are traitors anyway. So Mace Windu already knows like he has to be eliminated.
Right.
And I think that Anakin knows that that's wrong, A, and B, if he dies, he won't learn how to save Padme.
Right, and it puts Anakin in like this actual unique situation. And then instead of just deflecting Mace Windu's killing blow,
specifically aims for the hand.
He like lobs his hand off, which is like, why? You don't think you could just stop him and then like, hey man, like, let's keep talking. Let's keep talking about this. Yeah, right, exactly. And then he's like, unlimited. He's so happy about it. Oh. And then he's just like, oh God, what did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta kill everybody.
Yeah, I know that scene is so dumb to me. It's like I get his motivation because it's like he wants to save his wife. Great, whatever.
Right.
Makes sense. Love it. The minute that he cuts off Mace Windu's hand and he chooses a side, he says, "What have I done?" And then
he's not like happy about it, right?
No, he knows that he's wrong. He knows he's going down the dark path. And Palpatine says, "On your knees." And he's like, what do you need me to do, Master? I'll do anything you need me to do. And it's like,
anything.
Kill the younglings. Kill them all. And he's like, you got it. Wow, that was a pretty steep.
Yeah.
You just went from being sad that you cut off Mace Windu's hand to,
I'll kill everyone I've ever
everybody
seen.
dead? Yeah, you got it. He's like, you're going to teach me how to, like, prolong somebody's life, right?
And
it doesn't even have that power anyway.
And isn't it funny that, I don't know if you agree with this, I thought that Hayden Panettiere, and that's the girl.
Wow.
What the heck is his name? Hayden Christensen, right? He acts, his performance is 100 times better when he's on the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
When he's playing like bad and evil and like, he's lying to Padme, like, it's okay, just stay here, don't leave. I'm just gonna go check on some things. I gotta go deal with these separatists on Mustafar. Like, it's okay. It's I really like it because I don't know, his performance is a lot more believable. He does a lot better. He's a little dry when he talks to Obi-Wan on Mustafar, like, you have brought this. And he's all angry, but it's still better than his other performances.
Mm-hmm. And my theory on that is the fact that George Lucas said, okay, you're going to be playing the guy who turns to Darth Vader. And he's like, okay, great. I will study the material and I'll study and then he watches the movies and Darth Vader is a very two-note character who has no emotions whatsoever. Meanwhile, Ian McGregor can look at Obi-Wan in those movies. He's like, wow, he's a really wise Jedi. He really knows his stuff and he can emulate that as his past. Yeah. Hayden Christensen has like nothing to go on for for
He only has the villainous side, right? Yeah.
yeah. So when he becomes the villain, that is like that he gets.
Which I think, since this podcast is leading into the show, like I'm honestly really interested to see him specifically play Vader.
Yeah.
Because he really doesn't do bad as Vader in the rest of the movie. I mean, I know it's just him in the mask, but still.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see him come back, honestly.
Well, like we said, after watching Attack of the Clones, I wasn't.
Yeah, right.
But then I see this performance and I said, you know what? He's not a bad Vader. He's a bad Anakin Skywalker, but he's not a bad Vader.
Yeah.
And I also liked at the end, which they do cover it in Clone Wars. I like how Yoda says he's going to train him about becoming a Force ghost or whatever. That was cool. I forgot that happened in the movie.
Yeah, and now what I told you last week about like possible.
I know. Don't do this again.
Possible cameos, because Yoda legitimately says like, I've had a communication with your former master.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon? Yeah, Qui-Gon's learned how to use the Force to become a ghost. So it makes sense.
So the thing I feel like, I don't know. So the thing I feel like this is the thing before this concludes is what things do you want to just see just for the sake of seeing it, and what things do you feel like wasn't tied between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope that you hope Obi-Wan fills the gap with? You know what I mean? Is there anything like specifically that you're like, and they need to do this in the show, otherwise this mystery is still going to stay?
I really want to see them show like why Obi-Wan knows that he has to sacrifice himself to Vader.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's
Very
really
much
good.
like he knows like this is what I have to do. Oh, it's like, why does he know?
Yeah, he's not confused about it at all. Right?
Unless Qui-Gon talks to him and tells him like, look, this kid is the chosen one. His son will bring him back. You have to just stay hidden and keep him safe.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm interested why he doesn't change. He only changes his first name to Ben.
You're not going to talk about that. Old Benjamin Kenobi. I do really like that part in the trailer where Luke's stepdad.
Oh yeah.
Like Obi-Wan is saying to him, like, look, I'm gonna stay here and make sure he's safe and train him when the time comes. And he goes, yeah, just like he trained his dad. Look how well that worked out.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's woke.
The guy's aware of some things, yeah.
He knows some stuff.
And it's cool too, because like it's them at the end of this movie too. It's him, it's the same actors, which I enjoy. Like it was the same people from 2, and now it's the same people from 3, same people into the show. It's
yeah,
cool.
I enjoy that a lot. I'm looking forward to it. Especially after this movie, like that end battle, the end like duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, when you and I were talking about Duel of Fates there with Darth Maul, we were talking about how fantastic it is. Not that I had forgotten, but I just didn't think about like when the whole sequence of them fighting, like literally from first saber hit to him screaming at him about
through the control
brother,
like on the thing.
Fantastic.
It actually shows you like how Obi-Wan was here, Anakin was here. Anakin goes to the dark side. Now Anakin is here, and now they're matched because they're pretty matched. That whole battle, the
whole sequence. Yep,
they're pretty matched.
He gets a good couple. Almost gets him a couple. Anakin almost gets Obi-Wan a couple times, pretty good.
And I think that's because Obi-Wan still like loves him as a brother.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah, and again, I think that's another thing that's rushed in this movie is in the Clone War, animated Clone War, you see their bond is so much stronger in that show. Mm-hmm. And so when that final battle leads to that line of "You were my brother, Anakin,"
right?
It's this heart-wrenching thing that he knows there's nothing he can do to convince him
to
come back. Like he's gone. He's officially gone. When he goes to Mustafar, he hides on the ship to go with Padme because he knows Padme is going to go there. he wants to talk him
Oh,
back.
absolutely.
To say, like, look, I don't want to fight you. I want you to realize what is happening, that you're being.
Yeah, that sequence, when he chokes Padme and he's like, Anakin, the Chancellor is evil, all these things. And he's like, only a Sith deals with absolutes.
Yeah, right.
It just starts building and building and building and building, like the tension.
Yeah, because he immediately thinks that like Padme has like tricked him into bringing Obi-Wan there to kill him, and she's like, "No, Obi-Wan's your friend. He's our friend. I didn't. First of all, I didn't bring him.
Right.
Second of all, like, why do you just automatically assume he's here to kill you?
Yeah.
Because he's a Jedi, he's evil. It's like, no, he's your brother in arms. He wants to talk to you. He wants to tell you, like, come back, Anakin. It's not too late." And it's just immediately, no, he's here to kill me. I have to take him out first. So it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, it really is. No, it's
the animated show too. It's just, you build these bond with these Jedi and the clones, and how the clones all have personalities. They fight side by side. They want to win the war. They're battling. They're just like best friends. They really respect the generals and the commanders. And then for them to initiate Order 66 and have zero control over that, and to take out all the Jedi, it's just such an emotional thing that, like, this movie is just
absolutely
initiate Order 66 and like, you got it, pow 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 pow, and it's like, it's done. It doesn't show anything about them, like,
nope.
They're just heartless clones. But a lot of them had like grief, and they didn't understand what was happening, and they have to follow orders, or they're bad soldiers. It's this whole thing,
Right. Yeah.
So again, that's rushed to me, but just watch the Clone Wars. It's amazing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
yeah, I think I want to see, like you said, why Obi-Wan feels he has to die to Vader.
Yeah.
Two, just like, I kind of hope that they explain the Skywalker thing, because that just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you name the kid Skywalker if you're hiding him from him? Especially in Mos Eisley, where like information goes, and like the second you're like, oh, you've had children? What's his name? Oh, his name is Luke Lars, our name. He's Luke Skywalker. They're like, oh, isn't that the guy who came to the desert a couple of years ago?
Yeah, especially because like Watto was still there, and
right, exactly.
The Skywalkers were like known slaves of Watto.
Right.
He was a pod racing champion.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot of reasons why that's stupid. But so that's my whole point of the prequels, is that's why the prequels to me have always been bad, because I don't need to see scene for scene the story that leads up to New Hope.
Right.
Because in my head, I say, okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
You see it, and the story starts to crumble. The more you see it, the more holes develop, the more it crumbles. And it's just,
because it's like, her name isn't Leia Skywalker in the movies, right? It's like she's Leia Organa. It's like, you do it for one kid, but you don't do it for the other, and the other kid is in a much more obvious situation. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't understand. I felt like he should have called him like Anakin, whatever. Like, don't call him Skywalker.
Yeah, Lars. Just call him Lars.
Or Lars, whatever. Yeah, like, don't call Anakin Skywalker. Don't, like, let that be just a moniker for Luke. And he's really Luke, whatever, like his dad's actual real name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
But anyways, this is what, next time you'll see us, it'll be for the Obi-Wan Disney Plus series, which, I don't know. Disney Plus has done a lot of great things with Star Wars. They've really changed how Star Wars is viewed and consumed and written. So it's a really, really good possibility that all of the mistakes and issues and problems and horrible acting that was in some of the movies and character choices will not be a thing at all in this series.
No.
Especially since George Lucas isn't writing it. Which, I love George Lucas. He has a great mind. He brought stuff to the table that no one ever did.
He's a visionary.
Many people people copied it going forward for 100 times over.
he's a visionary, but he's not a character development storyteller.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yep. Which is sad, because I feel like both George Lucas and Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek, visionaries of the time, brought stuff to the table that nobody ever thought of, but had no idea how to like write drama and character development and like really expand upon the story.
It's hard.
A very
like,
narrow view of things.
To write like how characters connect.
Right, exactly.
That's why like we praise like James Gunn for like Guardians. Like you have this weird group of characters and they all mesh.
Right, meshes.
It's like, how do you write like that? I don't know. Yeah. But just seeing Hayden Christensen and Ian McGregor come back for those roles, I mean,
yeah, it'd be beautiful.
I don't really.
He already looks fantastic in the trailer, so
yeah, I don't really care what the story is. Honestly, I'm just interested to see more Star Wars, good Star Wars
content. Yeah. I'll be interested to like. Well, it'd be nice to watch Obi-Wan and then perhaps go and watch Rogue One. You know what I mean? Like watch.
Oh yeah.
Like the next leap. I think it's I don't think Solo. I think Solo is before Obi-Wan. I think
Solo's before that. Yeah.
So
cool. All right. Well, that was fun.
It was fun.
At least we weren't watching Attack on the Clones again. So. Attack of the Clones.
No.
I probably will never watch that one again. I have no reason.
Can't imagine I would. So bad.
Yeah, it's just rough. That's really rough.
So like, comment, subscribe for unlimited power.
Great. All right. We'll see. Start to follow that up. We'll see you guys for Obi-Wan.
Stay tuned for Obi-Wan.